If you are a Muslim who responds to conversations about anti-Black racism in the Muslim community with comments like this about, well, racism is haram. It is outlawed in the Quran. The Prophet didn't allow it. So therefore, racism does not exist in our communities. You are outing yourself as one of either two things. One, you either have incredibly low critical thinking skills and are not able to have this kind of conversation until you go and work on critical thinking skills in general. Or two, you are indirectly outing yourself as someone who has very deep-seated anti-Black racism within you. Let's take this kind of reasoning and apply it to other things that are also haram or forbidden for any non-Muslims watching. Haram just means forbidden. Let's apply this to other things that are haram in Islam. Islam does not allow us to lie. Does that mean that no Muslims lie? Of course not. Islam does not allow us to steal from other people. Does that mean that there are no Muslims who steal? Of course not. Murder is not allowed in Islam. Does that mean that there are no Muslims who commit murder? Of course not. Drinking alcohol is not acceptable in Islam, but does that mean that there are Muslims who drink alcohol? Of course there are! And on and on. There's literally a million examples we can pull from. And all of this goes back to the point being is that just because Islam, the religion, the Prophet, peace be upon him, the Quran explicitly say to do not do this, this is not allowed, that means literally nothing for what people's actual behaviors are. If you are a Muslim, when you come into contact with conversations around anti-Black racism within the Muslim community to other Muslims, this isn't even how non-Black Muslims treat Black people in general, but your siblings in faith, if in response to conversations like that, your response is something like this, a deflection, you either do not have the critical thinking skills necessary for this conversation, or you are admitting to having ingrained anti-Black racism within your heart. And that anti-Black racism is absolutely haram, completely. So if you really believe in Allah, in the Prophet, peace be upon him, the Quran, and you really stand by being Muslim, I would work on that.